I'm going to try to get the podcast right this time. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Let's Get Physical, episode 3. Is that right? Episode 3? You've been on 2 of the episodes out of 3. Why are you not a host at this point? I mean, you've been on it more than the shirtless Jason Smith. So I'm going to say that at least for this time, you are honorary hostess, Skylar and Kyle. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Hey, I can't even get her to say hello. She nods. She smiles and nods. Thank
it's
you.
Not just you.
So let's start right there, Kyle. Is it that difficult to extract information? I love the fact that you answer yes, no questions, yes and no. It is my failure as a podcast host to ask you better questions. So this is all on me. But that being said, do you run into the same thing on a daily basis, like trying to get information? Is it just very direct and to the point?
It's very hard to get any amount of information out of her, and she's also really bad with giving context. She'll just have a conversation with me, and I'll be like, hey, I need some context because I'm lost with what you're talking about right now.
So I usually get lost in my wife's context. Like, she'll use hyperbole, like there's a million firefighters. I'm like, okay, now all I can think about is how many actual firefighters are there? Because if you would have just said there's some firemen down the street, I would have been like, okay, and we could have gone on with the story. But now I have to know how big a fire is this? Why are there so many firemen? So I understand. So I had asked you earlier about a clip. Or whether you all had seen a movie called Trainwreck with Amy Schumer and John Cena, and you all had said you had not. And I started thinking about it, and it may have been put out when you all were not going to movies by yourself. You probably were of the age that you weren't saying, this is a movie that I want to see. But so this is kind of on this topic. Any question I ask, feel free to bypass, say no, whatever you want. So the scene is, John Cena doesn't communicate very well. So it's a bedroom scene, and Amy Schumer goes, can you talk dirty to me? And so he starts talking and she has to start coaching him through it. And it ends horribly, or as I like to say, very, very funnily. Nope. Hilariously. That would have been a better word than funnily. So yeah. I'm going to go, I won't edit it out, but I am going to lay claim to, I should have said hilariously there. So it does. So what is the weirdest time you've had to try to get her to extract more information out?
If she doesn't want to talk, I usually just kind of let her have her moment. It's usually, I don't know. I don't really ever try to extract information out of her.
Look at her. She just smiles. You would be literally the worst witness on a stand.
You know, or what?
Maybe the best.
I think the worst part is when we're driving and she's on GPS duty. She doesn't talk. She just expects me to know where we're going. And I'll be like, hey, where are we going? She'll be like, oh yeah, 300 meters. You got to turn right. I'm like,
oh my gosh, you Canadians and for really the entire rest of the world. I get it. USA. The whole meters thing. I'm trying to do that real quick and I can't. So I'm trying to think 300 meters, maybe like 1,000 feet. And then I'm like, but how many yards is, I can't do it. I mean,
so to put it into perspective, It would be like, the urgency would be like in, I don't know, 0.2 miles, turn right. And I'd be like, that would have been useful when it was a mile ago I needed to turn right.
I will tell you, it never gets better. My wife and I have been together for 28 years, and we still have the argument of what next right means. Like, to me, it means literally the next right, and I get it. I do it. So here's my thing. I can't fault her logic because I do get it. She's like, well, this one is this right, and then it's the next right. So I do understand. So I can get that. But it's different than my logic. So I'm going to say it's wrong. I get it, and it is right, but I'm going to have to say it's wrong. And she can say that I'm wrong. And after 28 years, we're fine with that. So just so you know, it doesn't get any better. at least with the whole directions thing. Soon we're going to have self-driving cars and everything will be solved.
I hope not.
Oh, really? I can't wait. I mean, if I didn't have to drive, actually, I don't really care about driving. I'm not a car guy. It's fine. It's fine. But the whole reason I want self-driving cars is we've always had really, really annoying Doberman pinchers. They are Velcro dogs. They're like always there. And I would love to be able to go get them in the car, tell the car, bring them back in 3 hours. I don't care where you go. And it just drive around and it brings the dog back. I mean, oh, that would be awesome. I mean, it used to be we had to figure out how to get rid of the kids, and now we got to figure out how to get rid of the dog. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. I want to ask about your relationship probably should have worked on this question better. Let's go with you, Skylar. Skylar, where were you in your fitness relationship when you and Kyle started your relationship?
I'm pretty sure that's when I had the eating disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't eating much, constantly going to the gym.
And that was one thing that I wrote down. You just recently made a post at skyparker.fit.
Yes.
At skyparker.fit on Instagram. But you recently had a post about body dysmorphia. And in that you were talking, and that's one thing that it's weird. I've actually been accused of it because of my eating habits, because because they're not normal. And I get that my eating is literally when I'm hungry, I will eat. And if that's 2 days from now, then it's 2 days from now. Sometimes like it's weird when your family like claps for you and sends you good boy text, which I mean, whatever. When I eat 3 meals, like they're so excited. My wife, I'm not going to say it's one of her top turn-ons for me, but knowing that I've eaten at least during the day, that she really appreciates that. So when you met, you were having an eating disorder. Had you identified knowing that you needed to change something? Were you at that point where you knew that you needed to change something in your life with that eating disorder?
No, not really.
It took a little bit.
So can I ask, just because of your reaction, what did you know it was time to make a change? That yes, I do have an eating disorder or problem, and how do I first identify what changes I need to make and then put those changes into realization?
I don't really think I ever noticed it. It was Kyle that pointed it out, and then like I gained healthy relationship weight, but then I ended up gaining too much weight.
Well, let me applaud you, Kyle, and both of you for being able to have those conversations, because Bobby and we've been together for 28, almost 29 years now. We started as a one-night stand. I mean, we did neither one of us is going to say anything differently, because neither one of us had more intent. Where I met her, said we should go home like 2 hours after I met her. There is not like we should go home and start talking about the future. That's not what we did. So anyway, we know that the best part of making relationships work is being able to have the difficult conversations. I also applaud you for being able to identify it. Sometimes when we're close to someone, because it happens gradually and we just see it every day. And I'm back to the weight I've literally always been my life. I mean, I'm almost positive I was born within a couple pounds of 170. And but I did get up. My highest weight that I ever saw on a scale was 208. And I put that weight on in about 6 months. So we started working, just started eating and eating. I mean, I was eating like 6 meals a day. Maybe that's why I don't eat much anymore. So maybe oh my gosh, am I having a realization here? Anyway, I added all this weight, and Bobby never said anything really about, I mean, we knew we'd seen the scale, but we never really were saying anything about my size. And then when I saw her grandmother, Grandma Frances, she said, "Hey, Ro, you're really fat." And I wasn't, but I was literally probably 35 pounds, almost 40 pounds heavier than she had seen me. And I do have pictures from them, and I do look different. As Bobby likes to say, I look normal in those pictures. But it is dramatically different in there. So I applaud you for being able to identify that, but then having that conversation. Bounce back to you, Skylar. When that is addressed to you, because I know a lot of people that are going through this. We had girls, our girls are adults now, and I know that at least one of them has had eating disorder, has issues with that in the past. And many of their friends, both of their friends, had eating disorder. So I know it is something that is prevalent, and sometimes people need to hear other people's stories. So I want to tell you as well, I appreciate you sharing this information with us. But when you hear that from someone that you may have an eating disorder, were you receptive to that? Were you arm's length to that? Did you tell Kyle in a polite Canadian way, you don't know what you're talking about? What was your response when he broached that subject?
I don't really think I believed him. Whenever someone told me, like, I was in denial about it.
So what made you believe it? What was the thing that you heard, saw, read, dug up on the internet? What made you finally believe that you had an issue that you needed to address?
I think it was just my constant nagging about, hey, you need to eat. You haven't eaten in 3 days. I'm worried about your health. Can you eat? Can you eat? Please.
And I want to just stop right there, because I understand the nagging that to what you think you're doing, what she sees you may be doing, and what others from the outside, but you're doing it because of love. And
exactly.
That's why I just want to say, because we try to downplay it by saying I was nagging, that's what it took. But what you were doing is you were expressing love in a way that shows concern to the person. And I mean, that's really what love's about. I mean, if you talk about people that have been in relationships with addicts and things like that, they just have to continue showing them love, and I'm going to continue to love you through that. And then hopefully things will work out. They tend to work out, at least from my perspective, they tend to work out how they're supposed to. But I just want to say I commend you again for nagging, but that's not nagging. That's you expressing your love. So Skylar, once back to you. So now that Kyle has expressed all this love to you in a way that he has termed nagging, which may be a Canadian term that I'm not familiar with. It may be part of the metric system. I don't know where nagging is, if it's after millimeter or before millimeter. But how did you finally take this information and go, okay, I do have an issue, and then I need to what was the next step?
I think I just slowly started eating more. Like, we'd go out for food and I wouldn't really care about what I was eating.
So I guess I should ask on the issue. So you would just go days without eating? Is that how you would?
Yes.
Okay. See, and that's why I think people. So did you? And I get that, and that's where I'm trying to come from my perspective as well, because I understand. I can understand now if that is a sign of an issue. I just always see it as I eat when I'm hungry. Although here's another thing too. Being with someone that can have a good conversation with you is also as good as being someone that can tell you that you're an idiot. There's some mornings where I wake up and I'm like, man, I just don't feel well. And Bobby will be like, well, when did you eat last? I'm like, I don't know, 2 days ago. And she's like, well, that's called being hungry. And it's almost like I don't, and I started thinking about that maybe I actually don't know what being hungry, that I just kind of put it aside and go about my day. None of this has to do with working out at this point. So I want to jump forward to once you decided that you were going to start eating, that you were going to incorporate a healthier diet or a more regimented, a more planned out diet, scheduled diet. When did you decide fitness was going to be a part of that as well?
Probably not until after I gained a bunch of weight is when I started going to the gym, but then I wasn't really doing it consistently until Shar put me on a plan.
So let me ask you, Kyle, how are you? You're fit, and I always want to say, but I live in America, so I can't really say this. You look fit, but I'm always like, when I grew up, bless you. When I grew up, I mean, like, if someone was not fit in their 20s, that was the anomaly. And now here, at least here in the United States, that's not the case. So you look fit. Was fitness a part of you? Let me ask about your eating habits during Skylar's time of going through these days, hours without eating. What was your eating habits like during this?
So I like to say I'm on a seafood diet. If I see food, I eat it. I don't know how to stop eating, but I have a very long history of fitness. I was a professional gymnast for 13 years. And I have a really good metabolism. And
well, that's what I was going to ask also. How much? So when I was growing up, I would eat everything. I would just devour, and I don't know where it would go. I just assumed that I had a tapeworm and it was taking care of most of this stuff, which I was fine with. I mean, as long as he kept me nice for bikini season, I was fine with that. But I had a friend that was a bodybuilder. And weird because we'd go out to eat and we'd both be like, I'm starved. And I'd be like getting 2 double hamburgers with a bowl of chili and a big thing of fries and a large Coke. And that was my standard at this one place we'd go to. And then he'd go be like, I'll get an egg sandwich on pita bread or something stupid. And like, he would eat so very little, but would be starved, and I could eat everything. So you had mentioned your metabolism. Did you not really, me personally, and I know this, I tell everyone, don't judge how I look at 57 and just think that it's
because
easy.
Everyone's different.
Everyone is different. But for you, do you fall into that where you, at least at this point in your life, have not really had to work at keeping, not keeping thin, but not adding on unwanted weight?
So my issue is always trying to be putting on weight. I've never had an issue keeping it off. And I feel like you and I are in the same boat on that one. But again,
well, let me ask you this real quick, because we are in the same boat on that one. But so do you, being in Canada, and I know I'm making an assumption from facts and data, but it seems that as a country, you all may be in a little bit better fitness shape than maybe we are south of your border. That means
if it comes to, the stereotypes, if they're true, I don't know. I don't get out a whole lot. I'm a truck driver, so.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, do you find the same thing? Like I've had people, so I ended up in the hospital once. Somehow I ended up managing to lose 30 pounds in like 14 days. Not on purpose. I had started a new medicine for my arthritis. So when I got there, I still looked, now all of a sudden I look like I had really worked at my diet because I was dehydrated. I mean, I look fucking hot is what I looked, but it also put me in the emergency room. Yeah. And I remember, and I tell this all the time, and it still makes me angry. The nurse actually said, well, what brings you in today? I go, I've lost 30 pounds in 14 days. And they go, I wish I could do that. And I'm like, I'm literally in the hospital for the issue. It'd be like, well, I had a heart attack. That's how I lost all the weight. Oh, I wish I could have a heart attack. I mean, I was just like, so do you find, this is going to be a 2-part question. Do you find that you sometimes are viewed, not negatively, not viewed, but people make comments about your weight that you're actually almost like too thin? And secondly, does that worry you? At least at my age now, I'm like on the low end of where I should be weight wise. And I'm fine with that. I'm within where I should be. However, if I get really sick somehow and it causes me to lose, I don't have a lot of weight to lose. So I'm like you. I'm more concerned about trying to I would love to gain weight, but just keep weight on. That is my biggest dilemma. So first of all, do you find some people make comments about you because you're on the lighter side and you don't have to seem like you're working at it as hard as other people. And then secondly, I don't remember what the second part was because I rambled too long. But we talked about that earlier. That's how you and I both do, I guess.
Yeah, I have a bad train of thought. But a lot of times, because like I said, I'm on a seafood diet, family will point it out. They'll be like, where do you put it all? I'm like, I just eat. I don't know where it goes. It's going in me somewhere. Hollow leg. I don't know. But I'm in the healthy weight range for my height. Like I'm 6'1". I'm about 180 pounds. So I'm within, but I have a very healthy muscle base. So it's a lean 180. So I don't look 180 type of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I don't think I have any worries about it because I'll never have a problem eating food.
So let me ask you this: as Skylar's fitness started to change, so she started working out more. Did you guys go to the gym together? Because I know that when we were trying to schedule this, I know that your schedules are a little bit different.
Yeah.
So how did that? Are you all gym buddies? Like, do you go work out together only when you can? Always together? Never together? How does that work, Skylar? Let me ask you first because we're talking about your fitness journey. So were you having to lead him along, or was he right there by your side, or were you following him to the gym?
Sometimes we would do our own things at the gym, but then there's other times where he would do the workouts that I'm doing and just follow along. But we don't really go regularly together. Like I go 5 to 6 days a week, and
I can't remember the last time I was at the gym.
So is that also hard because, it's just time that you could be spending together? I mean, and I don't know, not everyone, I always say, no one should ever look at me and go, gosh, I bet part of that life is good. It's work. You probably, anywho, I love seeing my wife after 28 years. I mean, if I see her across the room, I'm one of those videos where I'm like just sitting, if I see her, then I light up. So I know I'm going to go off on a tangent here. A lot of people say, and we've been together 28 years. We're both Christians. We believe in some sort of afterlife. I don't think my wife really wants to spend eternal life with me. And I only say this because she had a job opening. I said, I will come work with you every day. And she said, no way in hell will I work with you spend an extra 40 hours a week with you. And I thought, if you won't spend an extra 40 hours a week with me, and I get it, I'm annoying. That extra 40 hours a week, really, I understand why she outsources that 40 hours a week. That being said, it made me rethink the whole eternity thing on there. Okay, so you guys don't work out together. You say that you don't remember the last time that you saw the gym or
Correct.
Went to the gym. Do you work out at home? I mean, do you do other physical things? I mean, do you play basketball? Do you play hockey? Do you chase bears in the woods? I don't know what you all do in Canada, actually.
So I'm a hazardous materials emergency responder for work.
Okay.
So
that's a whole different show right there.
Yeah, that's a whole nother tangent. But it's a very physically enabling job. It's a lot of laboring work. So I am still physically active, just not in a traditional go to the gym sense that everyone else would think.
So you're like in an actual practical strength where like the only strength that I have, and it's not really strength, it's just really pointing. And I don't want to, I'm going to blame the lines in the shirt for making the bicep look too small because it's really much bigger than this.
It's why I wore a t-shirt.
And you can see, it almost looks like the lines are being stretched.
It's a tight shirt. You got big biceps, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to be, I don't know what's considered big. They got to be like 11 inches, maybe 12 inches.
They're like 26-inch biceps, brother.
Nope,
That's
I
some
wish. No,
almost
I
Arnold
don't. I
level.
don't. So I do. I wish I had them, but then I sound like many of the people that don't want to work at working out. I mean,
Yeah.
they just want. I used to work for a guy, and if he would just go to the gym, as much as he would research, like he would do a cinnamon diet, like a cinnamon cleanse. Like all they would do is drink cinnamon for like, I don't know, days or weeks and supposed to drop weight that. And they got injections and they did this, that, and the other. And I'm like, dude, just go to the gym. And they did. They always thought they could take a shortcut to do that. And so there are times where I speak out and I'm like, if I could have LL Cool J's like biceps, like in his song Proclivities, the video Proclivities, I would do that. But I understand that it takes a lot of time and effort. They wouldn't, me having those biceps are not going to put me in a video. No one is going to give two shits. And I mean, even if I went to the pool, the freaks that I go to the pool with here in our apartment complex, I don't want them to be lusting over additional parts of my body. Okay. So, yeah, because that's a pool's a whole we have a lot of upcoming conversations I think we can have. And evidently, since Skylar seems to be one of the new co-hosts of the shows as often as she's on, then although I'm just gonna warn you now, Skylar, that you coming back to the show so often and you wanting to be a co-host so much, we're gonna put you on a word count, okay? So I would say we would pay you by the number of words you say, but that would seem like there would be money involved, which there wouldn't be. So I don't know how it would work out. There's a laugh. I mean, and I'm sorry that you have to hear this, Kyle, but I am only saying this because Charlene mentioned it. I cannot wait until Skylar gets drunk. Because I
can't wait to be there for that.
Oh, I hear she's quite the chatterbox.
Polar opposite, like 180 flip. She goes from dead silent to will not shut up. She turns into me. She turns into us.
Yeah. Oh, no, I can't even picture that. I mean, literally, that doesn't even seem like it's a real thing. So, and then it was funny. So I told some people that I was like, after Skylar gets done doing her competitions in November, she'd be able to have a drink and she'll come back on. I was mentioning that show. And I asked, what would it take to get you drunk after the eating regimen, fitness regimen that you've been on leading up to competition? And the comment was one shot. Yeah. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I made that comment and everyone was like, man, I wish I could get drunk that easy. And I was like, yeah, that would be. If it just took one shot, I think I would enjoy drinking a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask this. As we're going through fitness, when did you all have a conversation as you Skylar started becoming more present on social media, doing these shows? Because I would assume, and I don't know what your presence was prior to getting into fitness and into competition and being more focused on showing your fitness journey, which is amazing. But that exposure brings something totally different. So, Skylar, when did you make the determination that you wanted to become more present on social media? And then did you all have a conversation about, I'm going to start doing this? Here's my conversation with my wife. I told her a couple years ago, I'm going to start an OnlyFans account. She said, fine. So sometimes they're that easy of conversation, but did you all have a conversation about that when your presence started to expand on social media?
I created the skyparker.fit because I was posting too much healthy stuff on my main account, so I decided to just make a separate account. If people wanted to follow, they can. If not, then...
And the conversation went along the lines of, hey, I made a new Instagram account. Follow it. And I did. I could care less.
So, and that's also a good thing too. I think one of the best things is knowing that your partner, and this isn't the case in every relationship, I'm sure, but knowing your partner could have anyone else, but they choose to be with you. I mean, that's why everyone's like, are you ever, I mean, I in 28 years, I've never been worried about my wife. I mean, like that. Or my kids, and I'm probably too naive, most people would say, but I mean, just having that, okay, go out and do that exposure because, and I'm going to ask while I'm trying to look at you, Skylar, crazies. Have you had crazies come out of the woods? Okay, that's why I was looking to your face and not at the camera then. So let me ask you, Skylar, first one, do you remember the first, like, well, that's odd. I wish that wouldn't have come through.
No, I can't remember the first one.
Do you remember the craziest one then? Or what was the craziest one that you recall? You're looking at
something crazy I've done?
No, something crazy that someone has reached out to you. Because I think about this like when people are like, how did you reach out and get in touch with Charlene? I go, well, I just dropped into her DMs and I sent her a DM and I said, hey, I got a podcast. And for some reason she responded. And then I was like, a normal person probably shouldn't reply to anyone that drops in your DMs. I don't know. I'm old and whatever. So once again, don't take anything I say and go out and live your life like that. But when you started making that decision to post those, what's the craziest crap that's ever come through? I mean, have you had someone like, I don't want to say a stalker, but yes, a stalker. Have you had someone that maybe is showing up in your feeds too often, not named Kyle and sitting next to you?
I do show up all the time, though.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Who?
What's his name from high school? Dated Haley. Oh, what was his name?
So we don't have to say names, but someone does, and that's what I always am concerned about. Is every once in a while I'll get reached out by someone, and it's really, I don't want to say it's just weird. I mean, it's like, here's also my problem. I never think that anyone ever talks about me ever. Like, if I'm not around, like, I just don't think I'm the topic of the conversation. And then someone will say something, and I'll be like, oh, I guess they were talking about me. And so I never even think about that, I guess. So when someone does comment, I think it's very strange. Let's see. What was my final question here? Oh, that's not it. Well, no, that was, I don't know why I wrote that down. Actually, I do. I got really, really high when I started these notes today. And that led to some questions that may or may not have been towards this conversation. They may not have been to any conversation, actually. That's just how it happens here sometimes. Okay, so let me ask this of Kyle. So as Skylar's fitness journey turns into a journey to be in competitions. Her schedule has changed. We talked about that just briefly. Her diet, I'm sure, has changed drastically. How has that impacted your diet? Or are you the type that can eat as long as you say you're a seafood? I am not. I am a meat and potatoes type of person. Anything other than that, like here's how bad it is. Any fruit or vegetable is a safe word. Like if I say lettuce, my wife will know I'm in trouble. So that's how it is. Can you say you seafood and you'll eat it, but how has your culinary taste changed through Skylar's journey?
It hasn't. I genuinely will eat 98% of foods out there. I'll try anything.
So whatever is brought or whatever is cooked or whatever you all have together, you're fine. Because I know that's one thing I feel really badly for my wife is that I always tell her that don't worry about me and my eating habits. Like she loves any type of Asian food. I do not love any type of Asian food. And so she rarely has Asian food. Like it's a special thing. Like she has to find a friend or one of our kids that will go and have it with her. So I applaud you for having being able to continue to eat. Has it are you on your own in this journey? Charlene had mentioned that if her husband, I believe this was the statement, that if her husband wanted white bread, he needed to go to the store and get it himself.
That was the statement.
Okay. So do you have to, if you want ding dongs leading up to November, and I do you guys have ding dongs in like it's a snack treat and it
We don't have them in.
okay, because that one probably wasn't the right one to say. Then ding
but I
dongs
knew
is
where you were going.
okay. So it is a snack cake filled with they say like frosting, but I'm pretty sure there's no real frosting in it, and I don't even know what real frosting is.
It'd be like a Twinkie.
Yes, like a chocolate Twinkie.
Gotcha.
In hockey puck form. There you go.
Gotcha.
That describes a ding dong. So that's and that's not the name that I probably need to throw out there and just ding dongs. I don't know what you do in America, dude, but no, we don't have ding dongs in our closets. Okay, it's not the first time I've made that statement. Ding dongs in the closet. So I apologize for that. So do you have to go to the store and fend for yourself, or if you want something that may not be on Skylar's menu, are you able to ask her to bring it to you, a hamburger, let's say, or something on the way home?
What in the prep months when she's dwindling down on the things that she can eat? A lot of times, if I want like Harvey's or a Taco Bell's, like some junk food that I know that she really enjoys but can't have, I'll usually go out and eat it on my own and try to keep it quiet and hope she doesn't realize that I ate it, because then she'll get mad at me if I ate it without her. But then it's just a conundrum because I can't eat it with her, and then if she finds out that I ate it without her, she gets mad at me, type of thing. So I kind of have to fend for myself.
Man, if my problems were that simple. I mean, you're coming home and she's like, you smell like, anything. Fill in whatever food. I was going to say Tim Hortons, but that would only be, I guess, if you spilled coffee and donuts on yourself. I actually don't. I just know that Tim Hortons is always when I'm watching hockey. It's always there and present on the inboard.
My favorite coffee.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Maybe final. Oh my God. I don't know how to keep it under 30 minutes. I really don't. And Bobby will attest to that too. And that's not like at 57 and being together for 28 years. I'm telling you, probably not the flex that I think it is, because she will be like, no. Like if this could, I got things to do. There are dishes and clothes that need to be folded. So let me ask you this, intimacy wise, and if you all don't want to answer, but has that changed dramatically during your fitness? Because I will tell you that there are times when Bobby looks at me and I will say, for lack of a better phrase, I love the way that she looks at me. I mean, whatever I'm seeing in her eyes, I know exactly what's going through her mind, and I like that. So how has that changed, or has it changed in your relationship? The intimacy part of that for both of you during Skylar's fitness journey.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go?
And I guess I should have asked, if you guys are virgins and want to skip this part, that's fine too. I got a button or something I can probably push.
Not the problem.
Oh no, that's clapping. That would not be good. I don't want that one on there. Maybe the record scratch. That will get us back. That'll just tell me where I need to edit. So I apologize. If you guys are virgins, you can just pass on this question. I should have asked that first.
I don't think there's been an issue, has there?
No issue.
I mean, not really an issue, but do you? Yes.
I see her as gorgeous regardless, and nothing changes for me. It's always, goddamn, she's gorgeous. Love that. But I feel like when we get closer to competition time and she's like closer to competition body, her self-confidence is raised. So I feel like closer to competition time, she's looking at me with stars in her eyes.
Well, I'm gonna ask that question then also. As you get there, as Kyle mentions, your confidence gets raised. So do you embrace that confidence? Because sometimes my wife, the story is still the same. She looked like an angel the day I met her. She still looks like an angel. If I could go back in time, I would love to go back in time and figure out, because I had said the next morning after a one-night stand that I'd met the person I'd spend the rest of my life with. And for at least the last 28 years, I've been correct. But I want to, because I love her so much now. I'd like to know what the fuck I was thinking that morning that I would utter those words. Because I was as she has learned, I was a very experienced lover by the time I got to her. And I was 7 years older. She was just I don't want to say she was a baby because then she was not. She was 21. So she was a fully legal 6'1", 21-year-old when I met her. But to me, she was whatever. But I look at her and I'm the same way. I mean, but I see her confidence sometimes as we mature. Sometimes I don't think she's as confident as she used to be. So do you, Skylar, do you not only show that confidence to Kyle, but do you exude that confidence? I mean, do you say, I work hard on this body. I'm going to buy this very second pair of leg day shorts, because I can make those for you, I'm sure. I mean, does your confidence allow you to wear maybe different clothing and things, I guess, present yourself, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, it definitely does.
So is that comfortable for, I mean, the confidence is there, so it has to be a level of confidence, but how is that different than in the rest of the year or the times that you're not gearing up for competition?
So the issue with the body dysmorphia is when I'm closer to competition, like I'm really small and I love it and I feel like I look good in anything, but then it's like off season or when I'm bulking, like I feel chunky and I feel like certain pieces of clothing don't look good, so then I don't always wear what I want.
And that leads me to another question, is that when you're at different stages, cutting stage, bulking stage, how much does that affect your wardrobe? Because you just referenced how some things you don't feel comfortable in. So are you starting to identify, oh, well, I'm in this stage, maybe I should wear, I don't know, whatever. Or if I'm in this stage, maybe this is more comfortable for me. Have you ever identified that, or does that make any difference to you?
I definitely have different clothes for when I'm in prep or when I'm bulking.
Okay. So here's my problem also, is that I saw a clip of James Brown and he goes, I'm not conceited. And there was a long pause because everyone kind of laughed because everyone thinks he is. He goes, I'm confident. And I was like, that's true. And I exude way, way too much confidence. I would have been a great child to play hockey because I needed a bully on the other side to put me in my place. And I never had that. On basketball, I never had that. So anyway, as you get closer to competition. Oh, I'm going to ask you a question real quick. This goes back to a picture that you did, a before and after picture. The Velma costume. Do you still have that?
The costume or the picture?
I've seen the picture of the costume. I'm asking for Kyle because Halloween's coming up pretty soon. I'm going to tell you that here's the thing, ladies. I have yet to see sexy Velma, Halloween Velma ever presented at any weight where it wasn't sexy. So I just was wondering, because you posted a picture on there. So I was just hoping for Kyle's sake that he could go like a Shaggy this year. I'm not hoping that you all role play, but I will say that was with Halloween coming up, that was a great costume that you had on.
So the funny part is the day that she had the picture in Velma, I was dressed as Shaggy.
Well, because I'm just going to say, Kyle, you're giving it me more of a Shaggy vibe than you are a Fred Jones vibe. I just don't see an ascot, buddy. Sorry.
No. God, no. I'm a go down to the beach in a Speedo and not care what anyone thinks type of guy.
There you go. Oh, my gosh. Guy in a Speedo. And I almost said a guy after my own heart, but that would be taken out of context, I'm sure, and not what I meant. But that's what I wear. And so this really went through my head. As we're recording this, and I keep forgetting this will be put out much quicker than my other shows are put out. It's like the last day of official summer in the United States. And it was hot as crap here. Thank you, global warming. It was hot. The pool was amazing. But I kept thinking to myself, is this the last year that I wear a Speedo? Because rarely, at least here in the United States, do people ever want to see anyone in a Speedo. Much less do they want to see someone in their, I want to say mid-50s. Really, I'm in my late 50s at this point, in a Speedo. So I always know that one of these upcoming seasons will be the last. And I actually was sad about that. As I'm leaving the pool today, my only thought was not goodbye to all these heathens I don't want to see. Hello, kitty cat. But my thought was, I may not be wearing the Speedo ever again to this pool. Hold on, I got a sound for that. I actually have a sound for the rest of the people that go to our pool for that. And if the cat jumped on one of you in a tank right now, I would laugh so hard. Is that still Charlene's cat?
Yes.
So do you all have your own cat, or you all just watch the cat when?
So we live with my mom, Char. We rent out the basement, and the cats just kind of have free roam of the whole house. And they,
Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to. I was just wondering whether the cat was. I recently saw a movie where someone had a cat on a leash, which I didn't even know was a thing. So every time I think of a cat, I think of a cat and a cat carrier and someone walking it like they're carrying it like a briefcase, and then it's just flopping around because the cat's really angry. Now, I've seen way too many movies that was portrayed in, so that's why I probably have those thoughts. But that is not the weirdest thought at all that this guy has. Okay, so let's see. Skylar, we're going to talk to you again. I was going to say not till after your competition, but seeing how you've been on like almost every episode, I have a feeling you'll be back before your competition. So either way, we will talk to you again, either pre or post competition. I wish you the best in that. If it's not, I know that we'll communicate before then, but I do wish you the best in that competition. So I know you're excited about getting that pro card so you can slam it down.
Yeah.
Go, I'm a pro. And once again, I don't ever expect for you to use the voice that I'm using when I'm trying to be you. That is not my real impersonation of you.
I hope she does use the voice.
Okay. Well,
you can do that. You can use a voice like this. You can do whatever you want.
did you guys hear that voice at all?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because sometimes I do that and people have said, and maybe they're gaslighting me, they're like, no, there was no sound effect. And I'm like, oh shit. Because then I'm just like, then I'm making a face that I don't normally make. And I don't understand why.
When I use this sound, I have to make a face. I just can't do it normally.
Which makes sense because Bobby says that a lot during sex. Okay. So that makes a lot. So sometimes this is therapy for me. Really what these shows are. It's just me talking out all my issues. So I appreciate you all not charging me for the past hour because I would owe you a lot.
Oh, so I should shut the meter off then?
What? Hold on. I think, man, I may have just lost you there. It sounded like, I apologize. It sounded like money and needed, and I lost you there. So, Kyle, I would love to talk to you. Hazardous waste transportation. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
no, I don't want to know because I want to reschedule and I'm going to write down everything that I think that you might do. I'm not going to Google it. I'm just going to use this brilliant brain of mine and try to write down everything that I think you might transport.
Make sure you get stoned beforehand because it'll make it that much better.
No. Well, you're making it sound like there are certain times of the day or night where I'm not stoned, and that is really not the case. I know that on my other podcasts, I often say often stoned, and I'm doing that more out of legal purposes, probably. You know, case at one point, maybe one of my podcasts is trying to be used against me. I'll be like, I wasn't stoned during that one. So Bobby just pointed out to me, this is one of those tangents that my self-awareness isn't always great. I was going out back to smoke. So I have not a bong, let's call it a water filtration pipe.
A vase.
It was a bong, yeah. So I had that in my hand, and I'm getting ready to go out the back. We back up to a golf course, and I see a peace officer and another person not in uniform. And so I was like, don't want them to know that I'm smoking, so let me put this down, but I also want them to know that I acknowledge them and I'll wait. So we find out later, and this is just a side note, really doesn't, they're just walking by, but they were looking for a naked guy wandering the neighborhood. I mean, I was inside all the time, so I was probably the closest to the naked thing that they could have seen. Anyway, I waved to the officers, and I tell my wife when she gets home, we're out on the back deck, and that's where they're walking by, the back patio. And they were fairly close. They were looking into between the residents for everything and or for this person. So I tell my wife, I go, I put the bong down, but I had a shirt that one of our children had give us that said "Dopest Dad" on it, which would be fine if it didn't have a big fucking marijuana leaf on it too. So here I am thinking I put the bong down because see, I'm high already. I probably didn't need to be going outside and doing this. But I'm like, smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. And so as I'm telling my wife this, she goes, well, you don't think our back mat, which says welcome to our joint with lots of marijuana leaves on it. She goes, you don't think they saw that? And I'm like, so in retrospect, next time this happens, most people would remove the rear mat and then they may think about their wardrobe and where they were going to smoke. What I've decided to do is say, I don't give a shit. I'm taking they already know that I smoke. I'm wearing the shirt. They can see the back thing. I might as well just smoke in front of them. Worst case scenario, I go to prison, jail, whatever. Best case scenario, they go, please don't do that while we're right here. So that's my side note. So you're welcome. And I'm sorry. I feel like Skylar wanted to say something during that entire story, but she kept quiet. So I'm just kidding. You haven't looked like you've wanted to say anything on any of our podcasts.
So I'm also a little baked right now. So
yes. Well, lead with that next time, Skylar. Come on, man. You don't wait till 53 minutes. That literally would be like me telling my wife. So, and I'm sorry if there's a lot of sex stories. A lot of my life is I should be in the porn industry as much as I talk about sex because you would think it's all I fucking do and someone should pay me for it. But that whole thing of you saying that you're baked 54 minutes in would be like me telling Bobby 54 minutes into a lovey-making session when she's like, are you almost done? And I'm like, well, I'm drunk right now, so I don't know if it's happening. She would be pissed. She would have said, lead with that. So next time, if you are baked, hold on. If you're baked, please lead with that. Okay. Now things are becoming more clear. Now, I will tell you, I have a ton of strains written down that per Bobby make me quite the chatty Cathy. So if I need to, and I don't know if we even have the same strains. Probably due to the metric system, like the names don't even translate. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do in Canada, honestly. You guys seem to have nice health care, and most of you people are nice. And you don't seem to have an over-infatuation with guns. So, yay, Canada. And I've mentioned this every time. You have a beautiful national anthem. I can't wait for hockey season. My neighbors fucking hate me singing that national anthem. They're like, who's the Canadian that I should do that on our internet. I should change it to something that is very Canadian.
Just
so that
Canada.
Yes. So that they'll blame me. No, I'll put it in like French so they'll get really mad. And then I'll play Hockey Night in Canada that I'll do it in the French so that they're just like, and then everyone will think that I'm even more cultured than I am. Because I'll tell you right now that as much as I look like I'm business up top, I'm not so much business down underneath. I'm really not. So
you have your leg day shorts on though?
I do not. No. I will tell you that my wife, true story, has hidden them. So not so much hidden them. She has placed them in a place that is safe for the rest of the public, I believe was her terminology. Yeah. I'm telling you, I had to wear underwear for that, which that's a whole nother story. But those leg day shorts, when I cut them, don't ever like if you need your shrubs trimmed at your place, don't ever ask me to do it because they're going to look like the leg day shorts. Way too much is going to be taken off and someone's going to walk by and say, that does not look good. So yeah, no, I don't have them all, but I am not as. I had told Bobby for the longest time, like the first 300 episodes, that if I was doing this as a job, I needed to dress up and treat it as such. And I like to dress up. I don't mind wearing ties. The first 300 episodes were audio, so I didn't have to. I still tried to because I thought mentally it would change me. It didn't. I mean, listen, I have 6 episodes on babies that were born in toilets. So, I mean, obviously it did not matter what I was wearing. And I understand that probably doesn't translate to Canadianese either. But that seems to be, it actually had a television series about babies that were born in toilets. Never once did I hear them say anything other than Kentucky or maybe Alabama. So, which are states in the United States. I don't know how much you guys know of America.
I know a decent amount.
I'm kind of joking about that, but we're so arrogant here in America because we're number one at everything. We're so arrogant. We just assume that you care. And you're like, everything is American. Okay. Hold on. Let me ask you this. You guys I don't know how Bare Naked Ladies. Hold on. Let me back up. The group Bare Naked Ladies. Any thoughts?
Fantastic.
Okay. So I'm actually going to be on someone else's podcast and I'm supposed to bring an album. It's a musical podcast. Why they're asking me, I mean, most of my songs, if there was a genre, would be ass eating. I mean, that would be most, the Cardi B's, the Sexy Reds, the Cupcakes. So those are mostly what I'm listening to. So, okay. Anyway, I've just gone way off tangent here. So, and I've kept you all for an hour. I'm literally making it longer every time. Which is a guy sounds very impressive, but this is about a podcast.
Yeah.
So I apologize for I warned you up front that I would do my best, and my best. Here's the thing. One last thing to tell you. Don't ever believe a word I say. I will try my best to be truthful. But when Bobby and I met, I believe she said, "Did you pull out?" And I believe I responded, "Yes." And then about 9 months later, we had a baby. And we love Mo. But neither one of us say that she's any more than a mistake. She is a wonderful mistake. We love her to death. She's one of our 2 favorite kids. Honestly, top 2. She's top 2 of our favorite kids. We have 2. But it's anyhow. Okay. So I started my relationship with Bobby a lie. That's what I'm saying. And it's worked out. So I've started this relationship with you all, bless you, with a lie. I don't know. Does that work on the metric system? Like, do I still get credit in heaven for blessing you? I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. So once again, it's the stinking metric system. I don't know why you guys can't just do everything in feet and inches. I mean, like, everything goes to the sex place. I wouldn't even know how long to tell someone my penis was. Like, do I say that is it more impressive in millimeters, centimeters, or like a fraction of a meter? I'm so confused by the metric system. We have so many shows to do together in the future. Skylar, you may or may not be off the hook until your competition. Probably not off the hook. We'll probably talk again. Kyle, I'm going to make a list. What I'll do is I will get a special joint, which I need to be careful, an infused joint. Because sometimes a special joint may mean fentanyl because we're in America. So that's not what I mean. I meant an infused joint. So I will make sure that my list is robust and as creative as possible when I'm coming up with what hazardous materials. I already have one pop to mind. I'm not going to bring it up, but it's definitely on the list somewhere in the top 25. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. And thank you guys for talking. And that probably goes more for you, Kyle, than it does for you, Skylar. Skylar, I'm going to figure you out. You're like a Rubik's Cube. I will figure you out. If I have to watch videos on YouTube of how to get people to talk, I mean, it may take interrogation. I apologize. If you get waterboarded at some point, you're the one not talking. I apologize. It's really on you at this point.
I'm 3 years in and I'm still trying to figure it out. So,
I mean, here's the thing. I will just I love talking to people because it makes me think about my life. Our youngest, Trinity, they didn't say like a word at all until like 2 years. My mom, who was like in child behavioral sciences and all this, she was very concerned about our daughter like not being able to talk. Some reason on her second birthday, literally the day of her second birthday, she started talking and talking. And she has not shut up in the last 22 years. And that's great. She is brilliant. She is amazing. But good Lord. I mean, I don't know if she was just like getting a running start those first 2 years. Like I'm keeping all this in my head and then but I'm going to get it out. But it will come at some point. Skylar will probably just start talking and you will wish for these good old days.
No, because I don't know how to shut up. I need someone to keep up with me.
Well, now you have an outlet. So my other podcasts, I talk about anything. I don't know why. I was just about to say you live in Canada, so you have to have a UFO story. Now, I don't know why that would be the case. I don't even know why, as a genius, I would think that would be the case. That being said, do you have a UFO story?
I don't think so.
Okay. See, and I don't know why. I just figured everyone in Canada. I don't know why. This is the thing in Canada. I feel like you guys see UFOs for some reason and you fight bears. I don't know why. That's what I think of Canadians.
Don't forget ride moose.
Ride moose.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not one that I would have put on the list. If you would have given me 1,000 things that Canadians do, riding meese would not be it. Or mooses. Mooses. I don't know what it is. Doesn't matter. Okay. We're rambling. Like, I know that Skylar is like, I'm never doing this one again. I am not doing this. So here's another thing. Where's my phone? I want to find real quick before I let you go. Can't remember. Did it come through? Nope. Okay, I may not be able to find it. The message that you sent me about doing the show tonight, and now it's always like I can't find you. It must have been in the email, so I'm not going to find it. I read what you said verbatim, and my wife was like, "What exactly is going on with you all?" Because it was like you said something like, "Did you want to start with Kyle and just have me like?" Do
you want
join later, or do you want us to both join at the same? Oh, I know what it is. So we go to a club, and so here's us being lazy. We go to a club that we can go dance, and it's like 5 minutes from our place. So our choice is we can either drive downtown to all the really cool clubs and country. You can pretty much choose any type of bar. So it's like 35, 40 minutes. Or we can go 5 minutes to a club which plays music and you can dance along and things like that, which probably is a swingers club. Okay, so we're not swingers. So the very first time we were in there, I'm going to let you guys go. These are too many stories that I keep coming up. See, Kyle and I are going to be able to talk, and then Skylar's just going to be like, good riddance, Roro. I am so glad that you are not trying to ask me these questions anymore. I am going to get you to talk. I am. It'll
happen.
I know. And I can't wait. Like I say, I can't wait until after when you get drunk. I need to be there for the very first conversation when you have a drink after that. And we will play a game. I've tried to talk Charlene in because we were going to have UFO and alien talk, because a lot of those TV shows use the same type of words over and over again, which would make a great drinking game. So we may have to incorporate that. Although, from what I understand, you may be done after one shot, which is fine too, because I can't wait. If you start talking, I can't even imagine the freaky stuff that's just bouncing around in your head, and you just don't know how to verbalize it yet. You have weird thoughts. You have weird. You're like a conspiracy theory. There are all sorts of things that I think that you're just gonna talk about at some point, and I can't wait to hear. I don't know when that's gonna be, but I can't wait to hear. Okay, thank you all. Talk to y'all later. Okay, everyone. Hey, this has been the third episode of Let's Get Physical. we didn't even talk that much about getting fit. We really went off on a lot of tangents. I apologize. For everyone listening on the Stone Genius podcast, you can find this podcast, Let's Get Fitsical. We're just going to talk about different fitness journeys that people are on. Skylar's been so nice to be on twice now. Kyle, thank you so much for being on. I can't wait to talk to you again. We'll talk on the Stone Genius podcast when we do talk.
Thank you very much for having me. Can't wait to be on Stone Genius.
Okay. Bye, Skylar.
See you later.
Okay, there we go. Everyone
You got
else.
the words.
I know, I did. I'm so happy. And here's the thing. When you talk, you smile too. And a lot of times you're just sitting there and it's like you're like the Mona Lisa. I can't tell whether you're smiling at me or not. There you go. There's that pretty smile. So
She's got
okay.
resting bitch face. Is what it is.
I have been accused of having that quite a few times. And I will tell you that benefits someone who's 6'5" because they don't want to talk to me because I'm tall. And then I have resting bitch face. And they're like, that's a tall bitch. Wow. See, this is why I should have kept it at under an hour. On that note, everyone else, thanks for listening to the podcast. We've had Skylar. We've had Kyle. They've joined us from Canada. And I know some of the conversation went off the rails on the whole metric system thing. I apologize. At least we didn't bring up the last letter of the alphabet because that totally breaks Americans. Okay. Talk to y'all later. Thank you all. Thanks for listening to the podcast, guys. Bye.